What is ChatGPT? How does it work? ChatGPT, Generative Pre-trained Transformer, is a type of artificial intelligence language model developed by OpenAI. It uses machine learning techniques to generate human-like responses to text input. The development of ChatGPT builds on advancements in natural language processing, NLP, which is a branch of artificial intelligence that focuses on the interaction between computers and human language. In recent years, the use of deep learning methods and large-scale training data have significantly improved the ability of machines to understand, process, and generate human language. ChatGPT is a type of transformer model, which is a type of neural network architecture that is particularly effective for processing sequential data. Transformers use self-attention mechanisms to learn the relationships between different parts of a sequence, allowing them to generate more coherent and contextually appropriate responses. The training process for ChatGPT involves exposing the model to vast amounts of text data from a wide range of sources. This training data includes everything from books and articles to social media posts and chat logs. By analyzing this data, ChatGPT learns to recognize patterns in human language and generate appropriate responses. Once the training process is complete, ChatGPT can be used to generate responses to user input in a conversational setting. When a user inputs text, the model generates a probability distribution over possible responses, based on the input and the context in which it was given. It then selects the most likely response and generates it for the user. One of the key strengths of ChatGPT is its ability to generate responses that are contextually appropriate and semantically meaningful. Because it has been trained on a wide range of text data, it has a broad knowledge base that it can draw from when generating responses. This allows it to produce more nuanced and human-like responses than earlier language models. However, ChatGPT is not perfect, and it still has some limitations. For example, it may sometimes generate responses that are grammatically correct but don't make sense in the context of the conversation. Additionally, it may generate responses that are biased or inappropriate. As with any technology, it is important to use ChatGPT responsibly and critically evaluate its output. The core of the ChatGPT model is a transformer neural network architecture. A transformer is made up of a series of layers, each of which contains a self-attention mechanism that allows the model to capture the relationships between different parts of a sequence of words. The self-attention mechanism in each layer allows the model to identify which parts of the input are most relevant to generating the output at each step. The output of each transformer layer is passed through a feed-forward neural network, which applies a nonlinear activation function to the output of each neuron. This helps to ensure that the model is able to capture complex patterns in the data. During the training process, the ChatGPT model is fed a large corpus of text data, such as books, articles, and other written materials. The model is then trained to predict the next word in a sequence of text, based on the words that came before it. This is known as language modeling. The language modeling task involves learning to predict the probability distribution of the next word in a sequence, given the words that have come before it. This involves calculating a probability distribution over all possible words in the vocabulary, based on the model's current understanding of the input sequence. The model is trained using a technique called backpropagation, which involves computing the gradient of the model's loss function with respect to the model's parameters. The loss function measures the difference between the model's predicted probability distribution and the actual next word in the sequence. The gradient is then used to update the model's parameters in a way that improves its ability to predict the next word in the sequence. The training process for ChatGPT involves using a large amount of computational resources, including specialized hardware like graphics processing units, GPUs, and tensor processing units, TPUs. The training process can take several days or even weeks to complete, depending on the size of the model and the amount of training data. One of the key advantages of ChatGPT is its ability to generate high-quality text that is both coherent and contextually appropriate. This is because the model is able to capture complex patterns in the data and learn the relationships between different words and phrases. This allows it to generate responses that are not only grammatically correct, but also semantically meaningful. Another advantage of ChatGPT is its ability to adapt to new contexts and tasks. Because the model is pre-trained on a wide range of text data, it has a broad knowledge base that it can draw from when generating responses. This allows it to be used in a wide range of applications, from chatbots and personal assistants to language translation and summarization. However, there are also some limitations to the ChatGPT model. One of the main challenges is dealing with the issue of bias in the data. Because the model is trained on a large corpus of text data, it can inadvertently pick up biases and stereotypes that are present in the data. This can lead to the generation of responses that are biased or discriminatory. Another limitation of the model is that it is not always able to capture the nuances of human language. This can lead to the generation of responses that are grammatically correct, but do not accurately capture the intended meaning of the input. In some cases, the model may also generate responses that are off-topic or unrelated to the input. To address these limitations, it is important to use ChatGPT responsibly and critically evaluate its output. This may involve using techniques such as adversarial training to reduce bias in the data, or manually reviewing the model's output to ensure that it is appropriate and contextually relevant. In conclusion, ChatGPT is a powerful language model that is able to generate high-quality text in a wide range of applications. Its transformer architecture and self-attention mechanism allow it to capture the relationships between different parts of a sequence of words, making it capable of generating responses that are both coherent and contextually appropriate. However, the model is not without its limitations, and it is important to use it responsibly and evaluate its output critically. One of the key challenges in developing ChatGPT was determining the appropriate size and architecture of the model. The larger the model, the more powerful it is, but also the more computationally expensive and difficult to train. In order to develop a model that was both powerful and practical, the developers of ChatGPT made a number of important decisions. One of these decisions was to use a pre-training approach known as unsupervised learning. This involves training the model on a large corpus of text data without any explicit supervision, allowing it to learn the patterns and relationships in the data on its own. This pre-trained model can then be fine-tuned on a specific task, such as generating responses to user queries or summarizing text. Another important decision was to use a multi-layer transformer architecture. This allows the model to capture the relationships between different parts of a sequence of words at multiple levels of abstraction, from individual words to larger phrases and sentences. The multi-layer architecture also allows the model to build up a more complex understanding of the input over time, by iteratively processing the input through multiple layers of the model. In addition to the core transformer architecture, the ChatGPT model also includes a number of other components and techniques that help to improve its performance. For example, the model includes a position encoding mechanism that helps to preserve the order of the input sequence. The model also includes a masked language modeling task, which helps to prevent it from simply memorizing the training data. The ChatGPT model has been used in a wide range of applications, including chatbots, question answering systems, language translation, and summarization. In each of these applications, the model is fine-tuned on a specific task, which involves training it on a smaller, task-specific dataset. One of the key advantages of using a pre-trained model like ChatGPT is that it allows developers to quickly develop new applications without having to start from scratch. By fine-tuning the model on a specific task, developers can leverage the pre-existing knowledge and language understanding of the model, without having to train a new model from scratch. Another advantage of using ChatGPT is its ability to generate responses that are contextually relevant and semantically meaningful. Because the model is pre-trained on a wide range of text data, it has a broad knowledge base that it can draw from when generating responses. This allows it to generate responses that are not only grammatically correct, but also appropriate to the specific context of the input. However, there are also some challenges and limitations to using ChatGPT in real-world applications. One of the main challenges is ensuring that the model is able to generate responses that are both coherent and relevant to the specific task at hand. This can be difficult, particularly in cases where the input is ambiguous or the context is unclear. Another challenge is ensuring that the model is able to handle a wide range of input types and styles, including informal language, misspellings, and other forms of noise. This requires careful preprocessing and cleaning of the input data, as well as careful tuning of the model's hyperparameters. Despite these challenges, ChatGPT is a powerful tool that has the potential to transform the way we interact with technology and communicate with each other. As the field of natural language processing continues to evolve and new techniques are developed, we can expect to see even more sophisticated and powerful language models in the future. What is the future of ChatGPT? The future of ChatGPT and other language models like it is very promising, with many exciting developments on the horizon. Here are a few potential directions in which ChatGPT may evolve in the coming years. Multilingual capabilities. While ChatGPT is currently able to generate responses in a single language, there is growing interest in developing models that can operate across multiple languages. This would require the model to be able to understand and generate text in multiple languages, as well as to switch between languages as necessary depending on the input and the user's language preferences. Deeper context awareness. While ChatGPT is already able to generate contextually appropriate responses, there is still much room for improvement in terms of its ability to understand the nuances of human language and the many different ways in which we express ourselves. In the future, we can expect to see language models that are even more sophisticated in their ability to capture the full range of human expression and meaning. Improved accuracy. While ChatGPT is already quite accurate, there is always room for improvement. One potential direction for improving accuracy is to continue to train the model on larger and more diverse datasets, allowing it to capture even more of the complexity of human language. Another possibility is to develop new techniques for fine-tuning the model on specific tasks, such as incorporating feedback from human users to help the model improve over time. Ethical considerations. As with any powerful technology, it is important to consider the ethical implications of ChatGPT and other language models. There are concerns around issues such as bias in training data, the potential for the model to be used for malicious purposes, such as spreading disinformation, and the impact of these technologies on human communication and relationships. As ChatGPT continues to develop, it will be important to address these concerns and ensure that the technology is being used in responsible and ethical ways. Overall, the future of ChatGPT and other language models like it is very exciting, with many possibilities for improving and expanding upon the capabilities of these models. As these technologies continue to evolve, we can expect to see even more powerful and sophisticated natural language processing tools that will transform the way we communicate and interact with technology.